getting Jack Caglione ready to play outfield at the major league level. And so chatted with Rusty Kuntz about that. Then we were talking to Rusty. They brought Tyler Tolbert over. Remember, he made the opening day roster, and he certainly has a chance to be a utility guy for the Royals in the near future. Stole 60 bases in one season, so speed is his calling card. And, of course, versatility. Played in right field last night. Peyton Wilson, who is a second base prospect and brother of former Alabama quarterback John Parker Wilson. So talked to him about that. Made fun of Gary Dieter a little bit. You know, I take my opportunities when they're available. Talked to the Omaha manager, Mike Jerschley. Talked to Cam Devaney. That was good. He is predominantly playing shortstop, but this is the guy that the Royals acquired from the Brewers in a trade in 2023, and he put up big numbers last week. He had home runs in 4 straight games and ended up right now his OPS for the season is right at 1,000. And so he's played some second base before, played some third base, and so that's a guy too. Interestingly enough, Michael Massey had a good night at the plate, but we've seen the Royals are about production right now. And if something were to happen where they decide Massey's not the guy or they need to go in a different direction, either temporarily or just moving forward, there's two candidates up there in Omaha that could be possible replacements in Cam Devaney and Peyton Wilson. So I thought I'd talk to both of them. Did that. And so we'll play those. We'll sprinkle those throughout the show. Had a really good time up there. Posted a bunch of videos and pictures of Cags getting ready for the game, and then the interviews that I conducted, and Bethany did some stuff as well with some players. We'll be posting that. We did a lot yesterday, but we'll be posting even more throughout the day on all of our social media platforms and digital platforms here at Sports Radio 810. So hopefully you enjoy that. If you're a Royals fan, or if you're a baseball nerd like me, or you dig the minor leagues. And let me tell you something else, too. Just a word of advice. So I'm in the Northland. You know, I live close to Zona Rosa. 2 hours and 37 minutes door to door from my house to Werner Park. So obviously it's a little bit longer if you live out in Overland Park or any place else, or if you live in the $1 million neighborhood like Lebo out in Lee Summit. But easy drive, fun time. The ballpark is awesome. It's in a nice spot, and tickets are reasonable. They have a guy selling tacos right behind home plate, which is, I ate one. I was texting Todd about my decision.
Tacos.
Like, this is a moment because I don't know anything about these tacos, and I'm going to eat one, and then I got to drive 2 hours and 37 minutes, and I got a carload of people, and I don't want to have to be stopping, and so it's a leap of faith. It was the taco guy voted best tacos on Facebook by some guy who likes tacos, is what the billboard says. Smoked chicken or pork tacos. I got the pork, by the way. Smoked brisket tacos, walking tacos, all kinds of good stuff. And so I said, well, I got to have that. You know, that's one of the fun things about going to new ballparks, trying the ballpark fare. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for that. No problems, no issues. And so if you get a chance, if your kids like baseball, you like baseball, head on up to Omaha. Watch the Storm Chasers. It's really fun. And they do a lot of different events and giveaways and theme nights and things like that. I have a friend, Marty Cordero, who is the team president, and he was honored by the ALS Association a few years ago at the Night of Hope Gala that I was one of the MCs for. And he's a great guy. And I hadn't seen him in a while because we used to be in more contact to the ALS Association. He still does great work raising money for the ALS Association up in Nebraska. But he hooked us up with some great tickets behind home plate. And then I started getting like Jason Anderson and different people sending still shots of me holding my phone up, recording Caglianone's at bats. Well, what are you going to do? That's what you're there for. So Bethany, my wife Susan made the trip. Both the girls made the trip. So they had a lot of fun. Went to the team store. We want shirts. Give us your credit card. Shut up. Like, okay, here you go. Get me a hat. Give me a size 8. And I'm wearing it. You like this one? They had a bunch of different Storm Chaser hats. But I kind of like this one. You dig it, Jake?
I like it.
They had the vortex with a kind of a character.
Zooming in on it right now.
Tornado. This was simple. I like this one. The O with the thunderbolt or whatever.
Yeah, lightning bolt behind it. Like it.
St. Pius colors. I get away wearing this to a St. Pius game. Chill out. They didn't have all of them in size 8, so but I had to get a hat.
Good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Little souvenir.
Nice O with a lightning bolt.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So it was a great time up there. And so if you're looking for a little road trip that's not too far away, especially if you're a baseball fan, if you want to have some fun, head on up there. I was like, they were playing the St. Paul Saints, the Twins affiliate, and leading off was Matt Wallner, who's normally a Twins outfielder, who I have on my roto team. He's down on a rehab assignment. And he, right off the bat, literally, he went about 500 feet to lead the game. I was like, oh, boy, here we go. Fireworks. And then Omaha ends up winning 7-5. So we'll play some of those interviews. We'll play some for Mike Boddicker. And like I said, sprinkle them in throughout the show because it was a lot of fun up there. We'll also talk later on after Mike Boddicker is in and out. We'll say hello to Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com. Jonathan Mayo is going to talk baseball with us, prospects, Jack Caglione, and some others. And Scott Sharp will talk Royals with us, and that conversation will be Omaha heavy since I just went up there. Now I have a long list of players. Scott can't wait. I have a long list of players that I was sitting with the scouts, watching them take notes. So I'm going to ask Scott about some players that I watched last night up in Omaha that at some point will be with the Royals. The Royals could have used some of those players last night as they lose to the Cincinnati Reds. Oh, boy. Hey, the Royals are still in good position. The Royals are still above 500. Barely. But they need to snap out of it if they have if we're talking about the division championship, they need to wake up. Because Detroit's really good. Detroit's won 3 in a row. Detroit is showing you who they are right now. They're 36-20. And I think it's real because, again, when we discussed who was the team to beat in the Central at the beginning of the season, we had some people say the Guardians. We had some people say the Twins. And the answer could, the question was besides the Royals, and I felt pretty strongly it's the Detroit Tigers. Now, Minnesota, they've been on fire. They're ahead of the Royals. Cleveland just kind of going through it like the Royals are. They've lost 3 in a row. They're ahead of the Royals, but Detroit has created separation. They're 36-20. The Royals right now sitting in 4th place at 29-27 after the loss last night to the Reds. So, they've lost 4 of the last 5. It just been going through it a little bit. Last night, you saw the return of Brady Singer. It looked like the Royals might be able to do good business against him early on, but he survived. He's a good pitcher. He's a tough guy. And he pitched through it. Gave up a couple of runs in the second, but then he hit cruise control. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Royals had a bullpen day. Wasn't good enough. They had Singer on the ropes early, but then that was it. Ellie De La Cruz, who you've heard me talk about plenty on this show, he put on a show. As you heard in the opening highlights, hit a couple of bombs. 436-foot shot to center in the 4th inning that tied the score. Then a go-ahead 451-foot home run into right center off Taylor Clark. And he hasn't been great this year. He's been very inconsistent. I mentioned that yesterday. Well, he's also one of the most exciting players in baseball. And when he's on, he can do things that not very many baseball players can do. Like that. He can crush baseballs. And he's got a tremendous combination of power and speed. Freakish ability. And so that's why I said, look, I'm looking forward to watching this because hopefully the Royals could beat the Reds, but I like to watch Ellie De La Cruz. Now, I didn't like watching that very much. I kept going up and charging my phone so I could continue to post on social media, and I wanted to watch some of the Royals and keep my eye on that while watching Omaha last night. And yeah, that was not thrilling to me when he crushed a home run that it looked like, hell, I thought it was longer than 451. Good God. How far did that go? I said, all right. I'm going to leave that game alone. That doesn't say, oh, good. They're going to show a highlight for me again like I didn't already see it. Wow. He's something else. But that one to center. And they had the gun shooting money at him in the dugout, which is always impressive. Oh, wow. Look at that. I mean, did you see those home runs, Jake?
Monster shots. Monster, no doubters.
Good God.
One ended up in the fountains.
Yeah. Oh, the top. Yeah. And that one to straightaway center was just a big boom.
Yeah.
So.
He's pretty good.
Unfortunately, that happened against the Royals. As for Brady Singer, he retired 14 of his last 16 hitters. Matched a season high for innings pitched in a game. And so his ERA had been close to 5. His last start, he struggled with his control. And we talked about that yesterday, man. Jump on him early and see if you can get him out of there, see if you can frustrate him. And he looked a little bit frustrated. I thought he looked mad. He has a temper when he gave up that single to Jonathan India. And I thought maybe that we could declare the trade a win after India got the 2-out hit against Singer. Like, okay, Royals win the trade. And then Singer said, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. And then didn't give up anything else. So, well, okay then. Thanks, Brady. And look, except for when he's pitching for the Royals, I root for Brady Singer. I like Brady Singer. He was good last year. He didn't trade himself. He got traded. It'd be weird if he traded himself. That'd be a unique approach in baseball. I'm not mad at him. He wasn't pounding the table. Get me out of here.
He's a key cog in that rotation last year.
Right, and they utilized him to get a bat that they thought they needed, and hopefully Brady Singer moves on and has a great career.
And it's also opened the door for Chris Bubich too.
Sure.
Right. We've seen how great he's been. So,
or you just could have not brought back Lorenzen and had Singer and Bubic in the rotation. And
that too.
Yeah. When I hear people say it, like, yeah, it did.
Also,
or you just could have had both of them in there. And, But the narrative sounds better the other way.
It sure does.
You know what I mean?
It sure does.
Because I do it too. Like, or you could have done this. Uh-huh. I don't like the way that sounds. That doesn't make it sound as good as when I say that he opened the door for Bubic. Okay? Let me describe it the way I want. So there you have it. NBA, I'm not going to say that series is over.
I will.
It might be.
I'll say it's over.
It might be. But it might not be. I don't know. I don't know. Hell, I don't know. Halliburton.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
This just in.
Right?
He had a night.
His dad was at the game.
Sure was.
Yeah, I feel good for him. He saw it. Saw his son go off for a triple-double, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, as the Pacers beat the Knicks 130.
Turnovers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, as a point
130 to 121, pushing the Knicks to the brink of elimination. Now, they are up 3-1. Tonight, the Thunder, back in Oklahoma City, they go for the series victory. They're up 3-1, and they can close it out at home tonight at Paycom Center against the T-Wolves. And so this is, look, here's the deal. So Thursday, Game 5, they got to go to Madison Square Garden. The Knicks got to win one at home, right? They win that one, and that's just then let's just lock it in for Game 6. I've seen way goofier things than that, And so if the Knicks can just win a freaking home game in this series, then you put it Game 6, and who knows? I would love. I'm probably, even though Pete Sweeney is a friend and a Knicks fan, I'm leaning more towards the Pacers simply because the Knicks fans throw garbage at reporters, literally trash at reporters and opposing fans. And so, and I like the Pacers and I like Halliburton. But I'm rooting for a Game 7. I need that. I think we all need that. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be awesome? So give me we're not going to get it, I don't believe, in the West. So and I think you are like a lot of people, like, you don't think the finals, if it ends up being OKC and the Pacers, is going to be super competitive. And so we may not get a 7 there. Although I think Indiana's going to surprise some people. And the way Halliburton's playing right now, and the way that team is playing,
they have a lot better chance than the Knicks do. Put it that way. I mean, going into last night's game, even the Knicks pulled that game out, and somehow, I think the Pacers can give the Thunder a bigger challenge.
I'd like to have a Game 7 though. I don't know if
I think it's over in 5. I mean, that's just.
You think you're gonna win in Madison Square Garden again?
I think it's.
That'd be crazy.
It's curtains. Well, I mean, that's just what.
Yeah.
That's what the Pacers do. The last 2 series they've only gone 5 games. They just.
I hope it goes longer. I've enjoyed watching it. And I would dig it.
I mean, last night was the first game in the series that a home team won.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be fun to watch, I think.
I think it's curtains, Pete. Sorry, Pete. We love you. It's a nice run. You beat the Celtics.
It doesn't sound like you love him.
I take him out to dinner. Take him to a nice meal. I owe him a meal.
Where you take him?
I'm taking him to Joe's, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Joe's Kansas City Barbecue.
That's right. That's what I'm taking him.
Hell yes. So we got all that going on. We got Mike Boddicker coming in here. Chiefs started OTAs yesterday, so a little bit of everything going on right now.
Patrick Mahomes' 9th OTAs.
This I say this about, like, my kids. when I sit back and think, again, like this year, Richie getting married, Phil graduating college, the girls turning 16, it's like so many times I want to push pause, like, hey, this is going a little bit faster than I wanted to. I love watching them grow up, but man, let me enjoy this for a little bit longer. I feel that way sometimes, and I'm like, especially now with Travis Kelce, we speculate this is his last year. And like you said, Mahomes, now we're talking about him as one of the veteran quarterbacks in the NFL. It's like, hey,
right,
calm down, easy.
I saw that yesterday, and I was like, whoa.
Let's just slow your roll.
Posted ninth time.
Look, and I'm not here to preach to people, man, but this is why I try to tell people this. I know we get caught up in the losses. That losing the Super Bowl like that sucked, but man, savor these moments. Because this ain't good. I want it to trust me. I want it to last forever. But especially this year, this may be our last ride with Travis Kelce. We're watching these group of players that have accomplished so many great things. Man, just enjoy it. Enjoy all the regular season dramatics. Enjoy all the fun. I'm guilty of it more than anyone. Just hurry up, get to the playoffs, get to the postseason. Enough of this. No. I'm gonna really try, especially because of Travis Kelce and how much I've enjoyed watching him throughout his career. I'm really gonna try to just savor these moments and thoroughly enjoy this football team and not get so wrapped up in everything. Try not to speed everything up. You do the same. We all do the same thing. I'll just get to the playoffs. I've had it. No. I'm gonna enjoy this, and I encourage you to do the same.
How are you doing? How are y'all doing?
It's still a wonderful time to be a sports fan in Kansas City. We'll take a break. When we come back, Mike Boddicker will come in and savor the moment. He loves it when he comes in here. Can't get enough of it. Mike Boddicker in studio after this on Sports Radio 810 WHP.
Can you tell us about the work you put in to make that transition to playing outfield? We see you obviously in the box score when you play, but maybe take us through some of the things you're doing behind the scenes, or work you're doing with Rusty Kuntz, and just the things you're doing to prepare yourself to play outfield at the major league level.
Yeah. Rusty's been probably the biggest help. I mean, he's somebody that knows the game extremely well. So we've just been working on like first step reads, kind of the footwork that needs to go into play in the outfield. I played it in high school, but in high school it's more of a just field it and throw it in as fast as you can. So now it's get into the nitty-gritty bits of it. So he's been very helpful with it.
How comfortable are you out there, and do you have a preference between left field or right field?
The minor leagues is the first time I've ever played left. I played right in high school, so probably more comfortable in right, but they're basically the same thing.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We now have Mike Boddicker in studio, former Royals pitcher, former Baltimore Orioles pitcher, former Boston Red Sox. Do we see a former Brewer, or do you?
Brewer.
Former Milwaukee Brewer?
Very, very short-lived. Yeah.
That's fine. How you doing, Mike?
Shocked that you're here.
Why?
I was kind of paying attention. You know me and social media.
You love it.
I knew you
Can't
were
get
up,
enough of
knew
it.
you were up in Omaha, and I went when Jake texted me, "We okay for tomorrow?" I went, "Is it going to be Lebo?" He goes, "No, I think Steven's going to be back." I went, "What?" Okay.
I knew you were a fan of the social media content.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking at your interviews and
makes me
seeing your smiley face on Instagram, and yeah.
That was fun yesterday. I enjoyed going up there
I
to
bet
watch
you
a game.
did.
I'm glad my girls were
Werner
with me.
Field.
Yeah.
That's a nice little place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a good time. And so here, we'll start off and play this because I enjoyed this. Well,
You enjoyed a lot of it, according to what I saw. So,
what
yeah.
should I play? I want to play Rusty, but I want to save that maybe for 7:30. Because I just saw Rusty Kuntz walking by and I stopped him for a few minutes. Hey, Rusty, come here.
I love Rusty.
He's great.
I got to face
nice
him. You know, I
man.
used to pitch against him. So yeah.
How did you do?
Don't remember.
Of
course, I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oatmeal, probably.
Might have been. I haven't been eating a lot of oatmeal. I'm trying to be like you, Steven.
Oatmeal's delicious.
Oh, I love oatmeal.
And I've been like I don't know, Jake, if you noticed this, like the last week I've had no oatmeal because I kept forgetting to go to the store to get it. Then I went to the store to get it.
Why don't you call me?
know.
You know I will bring it in for you.
Then I forgot it at home 2 days in a row. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? Finally, I got it today.
What did I tell you? If you
I know.
ever don't have something, call me and I'll run it over here.
I got some steel cut too. Let's go.
That's good
Little
stuff.
blueberries, cranberries. I'm in. Let's hear from. How about Cam Devaney? He is interesting prospect, and again, I feel like I need to mention this because if you're looking for a spot where the Royals can improve, and they've made these moves recently, called up Nick Lofton, called up John Rave, said goodbye to Hunter Renfroe, said goodbye to Kevin Biggio. Michael Massey has not been having a good season. Now, last night, 2 for 4. And so that's encouraging. But still, for the season, his slash line's 212, 228 on base, which is just unthinkable.
Yeah. And not the home runs.
Just unthinkable. I looked at that just right now, and that was I knew it was bad, and that was shocking to me that it was 228 after he went 2 for 4 last night. A 228 on base percentage is a slap to the face of baseball. If baseball was a person, a 228 on base is a slap to the face of it. Like the Mets guy, Mr. Met. He's a
big head.
He's a man's body with a baseball. It's like someone slapped him in the face with a 228 on base. 272 slug. And so those numbers need to go up quick. Because, he's good defensively, but you just
Very
if
good
you
defensively.
have
but
a team that is struggling to score runs consistently, you can't have him doing that and have a guy at AAA with 1,000 OPS that had home runs in 4 consecutive games last week that's hitting the cover off the ball. You just that doesn't work right, okay? No. And so that's why one of the guys I wanted to talk to was Cam Devaney. Now, he's 28 years old. He was acquired from the Brewers in exchange for Taylor Clark back in December of 23, and then the Brewers ended up letting Taylor Clark go, and he signed back with the Royals. Yes. So again, Jake, I like those kind of trades. That's the old hey, if they let you go, come on back, fine. And so as I mentioned, he's been hitting very well. He's got 11 home runs. His OPS dropped just a touch after last night, 985, but last week he hit 4 home runs. And so he's been showing some power, good defensively. Now, predominantly he plays shortstop. There's no opening there, but he's also played a couple of games at second, a couple of games in third. And in the past, he's played a lot more games at second and third, and so he can move around the infield. And so that may be he may be the next guy that besides Keggs, of course, that they call up if they think they need some juice offensively. And so I caught up with Cam Devaney, and at one point at the end of the conversation, one of his friends, he's friends with the guy that plays for the St. Paul Saints, Ryan Fitzgerald, was standing behind us, it appeared to be taunting Cam Devaney while he was trying to do an interview, so it got interesting there at the end. And Bethany she asked a question after I would interview somebody yesterday. She'd ask every one of them, hey, give me a current or former Royal that you look up to or
Nobody
whatever.
picked me, did they?
No, you know what? No.
No,
I think Rusty Coons
shocked.
thought about it. He was going to say it. And so then she's going to put together a cool package later on of different, all their answers and stuff. And so then you hear us kind of talking about that at the end. So here's shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder, power hitter for Omaha, and a guy who could end up in Kansas City this year. We'll see, Cam Devaney.
All right, Stephen St. John here with Cam Devaney here in Omaha. And Cam, you had a hell of a week last week. You had homers in 4 straight games. Your OPS is up to 1,000. Just tell me a little bit about your success recently at the plate. I mean, all season long you've been knocking the cover off the ball. Just tell me about how you feel at the plate and what it's been like those last couple of weeks, especially hitting 4 home runs in 4 games.
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, had some success, and the biggest thing is just being consistent. I have a really good idea of what I'm trying to accomplish every day, whether it be my routine or, when I actually step in the box. So the consistency has been the biggest thing this year for me.
You came over to the Royals organization in a trade from the Brewers. Take me back to that moment when you found out you were coming to the organization and maybe what it's been like to be a part of the Royals organization as you've been working your way up trying to get to the big leagues.
Sure, yeah. It was just a normal weekday in the offseason, so it came as a huge surprise. But I feel like the opportunity I've gotten here has been a little better, and, I feel like I'm valued more and less of a number, I guess. So it's been a lot of fun, and I love, playing for Jersh. And this year and last, we've had 2 really good groups of guys. So, it's been honestly really, really nice.
And so you've had a couple of teammates recently in John Rave and Nick Lofton get the call up. That's got to be exciting for you because you see the Royals are aggressive in bringing guys up that can help, and your name's right there, and you could be the next guy. So how do you react when you see those guys go up knowing that you could get that next phone call?
Sure. Well, the first thing, it's great seeing that, Johnny's my roommate and, or was my roommate, I should say. But I love both those guys, so it's really cool seeing them go up. I think the toughest thing when you're in AAA is you try not to play GM and try to, figure out what their next move is going to be. So I try not to think about that too much. I'm more concerned about, just being successful here, one day at a time, that kind of thing.
I know you play short, but you can play second, you can play third. What's your comfort level moving around different positions if that's what they need you to do?
Honestly, really good. Different points in my career, even dating back to college, I've played plenty of third, short, second. I've played some left field, so kind of whatever they need, I'm ready to go.
So Caglianone's making his debut at home in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
You were hitting home runs. He was hitting home runs. You guys got a caught fire together. What's it been like to have him in the lineup and to watch what he's been doing while you've been hitting him out too?
It's been really cool because I've had the best seat in the house playing, hitting right behind him. So I've, all 5 last week. Just really cool watching him succeed, and I got to know him a little bit in spring training. So kind of building off that has been a lot of fun.
One more thing I just wanted to touch on. You talked about the change in the organization. You feel like you're valued here. J.J. Piccolo, Scott Sharp, really great baseball guys, but it seems like they're able to build great relationships as well. Is that something you've seen in this organization from Jersh and just everyone else?
For sure, especially in spring training. Those guys are always around, and just getting to talk to them, on a daily basis is pretty special, and I would say probably not common everywhere. So it's been a cool experience.
Well, we'll appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you in Kansas City real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bethany had one question.
Yeah,
sure.
So just curious if any former or present Royals, do you look up to? Anybody come out to your mind?
Probably the guy right behind you, Ryan Fitzgerald. That's my hero right there. Also just made his debut, so, that's the guy right there. That's definitely him.
Okay, I need a Royal, though.
Oh, you need a Royal. Then John, for sure, John Rave. He was my roommate and one of my best friends here, so seeing him go up, honestly, one of the coolest things I've seen since I've been here, so that was awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. You got it.
All right.
I thought he put you up to it.
So Ryan Fitzgerald with the Twins organization was like standing behind. Bethany was, and you'll see us on camera later, was had the camera and I had the mic and talking to Ken Devaney, and I didn't even notice, but like Ryan Fitzgerald was behind Bethany, like making faces at Ken Devaney, trying to jack with him during the interview. And so that's when Bethany asked him that, he thought that Ryan Fitzgerald put her up to that. So,
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
A little grab ass to the old ballpark, Mike.
Yeah.
Huh? You play that before?
Been there, done that. Yeah.
So there you go.
Guys messing with you, trying to get you to mess up during your interview. Yeah.
So keep his name on your list. You could end up seeing him with some pop.
We need a little pop.
And he talked about he's comfortable. He can play all over the second, third, short, whatever.
Yeah, we need help multiple places. I mean, they've been calling up outfielders and still not a whole lot of pop there.
Yeah, let John Ray sit in. Hopefully he can start to make a difference.
I hope so. He doesn't look real comfortable at the plate right now. So.
What about Brady Singer yesterday? What did you think of his performance in his return to Kauffman Stadium?
It's hard to judge somebody when they're facing our lineup right now.
But he struggled his last start, and when he hit that second inning where he gave up a couple of runs, they can get to him. There we go.
The problem is we're hitting singles up the middle, and if you watch the game last night, he threw a ton of pitches, just dead center of the plate, which usually gets you in big trouble. And early on, there was a lot of them mid-thigh that should have been raked, and they got base hits off them, but that doesn't take you out of a ball game. Even throughout when he was, racking up innings where we weren't getting anybody on, there was a lot of balls split the middle of the plate. I mean, they were down in the zone, but good hitters crushed it. Anything middle, you're not going to make it. And he threw a lot of pitches in the middle. And those were the kind of pitches when he would have those games where he would go 2 to 3 innings and give up 7 runs when he was with us. That's what was happening. He was in the middle of the plate. And he was in the middle last night, and we didn't do anything. That's what really I'm watching the game going, wow, you got to crush that ball. I mean, that you catch middle of the plate with big leaguers, yeah, you're not going to fare very well. And he pushed through that second inning, and I don't know, we just didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Look, it's early in the season still.
Is it though?
I don't know. Nate said it the other day, so.
Yeah, but Nate also spent 20 minutes yesterday talking about rubbing his meat, and I had to turn it off.
missed that.
I couldn't listen anymore. So
Well, all right then.
that was very
Jake, you wanna-
very interesting.
You want to answer for that? Or you wanna-
There were
That's
a lot of meat talk. Well,
there
you
was
go.
a lot of rubbing and stuff. So yeah,
I'm all about injecting, Mike.
What
there
was,
you go.
What was your reaction when they made the Singer trade for
I thought it was good.
for India?
I thought it was a good trade for both teams.
Okay, and yes, the idea of it was right.
Right.
You trade Singer for a bat. 'Cause
Right.
guess what? They still need a bat or two.
Yeah, we do. And I thought India, after walking into Kauffman and seeing how big this place is, his swing would have changed a little bit, just more hit the ball the other way and that kind of stuff.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
What's been the issue with India?
He's still trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. As
Well,
a
he
leadoff
ain't
hitter.
doing that.
Not here.
Right.
You saw some balls last night. Waters hit a ball that, I mean, should have been out in most places, but not here.
There was like 4 or 5, like off the bat, were smoked
Yeah.
and were just outs.
Yeah,
last night.
that's really the amazing thing with De La Cruz's home run off Clark. I'm going, holy cow!
That scared me. Like, what the hell was
that?
that?
Looked a lot further than they said it
Right.
was. Yeah, that ball was crushed.
But like both of them, the one that straight away center, I'm like,
that was a line drive. That was just,
and it would have hot. Like,
oh man, that was.
you saw that? Like, oh well,
That's power.
now see that doesn't surprise me.
No, but that's
Now,
power.
he'll
we
swing-
don't
Yeah,
have
right.
much of that here.
And this is a great point you bring up because watching
bring
Jack
power.
Caglione last night,
Yeah,
he is a free swinger.
yeah.
He is swinging. All right, he is like,
Oh, you jinxed him, by the
you
way.
know, I know.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, I mean, you know,
He's going to hit here. I'm sorry, he will.
it's like you know, going to a bar in Leawood on a Friday night. There's a lot of swinging going on.
You've been there?
I don't know. I've heard.
Oh, you've heard.
Frank
okay.
Bowles told me a bunch of
Oh,
stories.
yeah. Okay. Well,
And
there
so-
you go.
I'm going to a key party, scum. Wow. But he's a free swinger.
Yeah.
Okay. But when he gets a hold of one, it's gone. Ellie De La Cruz is a free swinger.
Yes.
And sometimes he looks really bad. But if you make a mistake, he puts it over the wall. Mm-hmm. And the Royals don't have very much of that. Where if a guy makes a mistake, well, they might get a double. And you know, they don't make you pay the ultimate price that a pitcher pays, and that's giving up a home run. And I'm not saying Kaggs comes up and he's the savior or whatever else, but don't you need a little bit of that?
Oh yeah.
In the lineup?
No, there's no doubt.
Just
I
just
remember
to
the
put some
day
fear in
that
the pitcher.
John Scherholz walked up to me and he asked me about Steve Balboni,
Bye, Balboni.
and I says, if you can live with the strikeouts, he's going to hit you 35 home runs. And he goes, that's all I need to hear. Boom, the Royals had Steve Balboni.
When did this conversation?
I
Where the
was
hell
down
this
here
at?
for some kind of an award after the '83 World Series.
So you helped us get Bye Balboni. Why have I never heard this story?
That's a long time ago. Anyway, but I was down here I received some kind of award for World Series in '83 here in Kansas City.
It's great to hear Scherholz picking your brain.
And
I mean,
he came up to me
that's
afterwards.
awesome.
He says, "You played against him in the minor leagues, haven't you?" And yes.
Because he's with the Yankee organization.
Yes, he was. And he was either just on fire for a week or you could strike him out a ton of times. I said, if you can live with the strikeouts, he's going to hit you 35 home runs. And he said, that's all I need to hear. And
Okay.
Steve Balboni was a Royal.
Here's my point.
You have to have that fear of God
Right.
in you. If you step on that mound and you look in there and go, I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
And the guy walks up and goes, oh, crap, he can hit one out of this whole park. everything changes.
Okay.
You have to have that little bit of fear of God in you when the guy walks to the plate. And we really, even Pasquantino, I'm not really concerned about him. And he's going to get base hits.
But that's what Caglione would bring.
You want somebody in there that can drive the ball into that fountain where Ellie went.
And he had a rough night last night. 0 for 5 with 3
Well, you
strikeouts.
jinxed him.
But it's going to happen.
That's okay.
The pressure.
If you
was
can
too
live
much.
with that those nights,
Yeah.
he's going to get you
Well,
a lot
of course you can.
You can go, and the team still won.
Okay, so Jake, I'm giving you an example. Last year, Ellie De La Cruz, we're talking about him, right? And the 2 mammoth home runs he hit.
Yes.
He had 696 plate appearances, 618 official at bats. He walked 69 times, right?
Hello.
He had, and then listen to this, extra base hits. Listen to this: 36 doubles, 10 triples, 25 homers. That's good, right?
That's some power.
Stole 67 bases.
Wow.
How many
Speed
times did he
and
strike?
power.
How many times did he strike out?
A lot. 100
200.
no, 160.
218 times.
Ooh.
218 times.
Duh.
Now,
there you go.
That will,
There's
but they're living with it.
Exactly.
Because, like last night, you would think, well, we struck out, just strike him out. Well, it ain't always that easy. And you don't always have that command. Then when you make a mistake, he crushes you. You got to have.
I would have liked
that
to see
guy
him in the
lineup.
lineup against Singer last night because Singer was in the middle of the plate, and that young man can hit a ball in the middle of the plate.
By the way, this year he struck out 70 times in 219 at bats. So
That's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
Right. He's a free swinger. And so is Keggs. And you make a great point. He's gonna have nights like that. And if you can live with that, you're also gonna have nights when he hits one where Ellie De La Cruz did last
he
night.
can hit
or
him
a couple.
there. Oh, he can hit him there.
Great point, Mike. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Listening to New Day with SSJ.